Guys, we're here at the auto show this year, and we're lucky enough to have some time to interview our owner and operator of our Genesis store, James Buzzetta, also newly on the board of Janeda. So we're going to ask him a few questions about his cars that he has here this year. So this is your first time on the board. What inspired you to get involved at this level?
Well, I've always loved being in the car business. It's something that's really interesting to me. I watched my grandfather do it, my father, my aunt, my uncle do it, and I just loved it. It's all I've ever wanted to do. So to do something like that and get a little bit more involved and develop connections is something that was important to me.
Is it like different being at the show this year now being on the board? Do you see it differently than when you used to come, I'm sure?
Yeah, well, actually, I've been on for just over a year now. So last year I was a part of the board and the committee before. But yeah, with this year it's much different because we have the excellent opportunity of having my cars on display, which I'm very appreciative of them to have my cars here. And then on top of that, it's a big day for Subaru with all the unveilings between the Solterra and the Trail Seeker, the Outback, and the Outback Wilderness. So it's really such a great day.
Awesome. Is there like a car here that has the most important significance to you?
To me, one of the standouts is the 2004 STI. It was the beginning of the STI for us, and it was just such a fun car to drive, but it also had some really, really nice performance advantages, but it had great character and great rally-bred heritage. Around that time, Subaru was hugely successful with the World Rally Championship, so that's a car that's kind of symbolic of that.
What made you initially start collecting the Subarus?
There's a few different things, but when I went to college, I had an old Mercedes that was rear-wheel drive, and I loved that car so much. But it wasn't really practical in the winter, so basically I needed an all-wheel drive car to get to and from classes. And we had just started selling Subarus at that point. So I said, all right, well, maybe I should try. I love all of the products that we sell, and I didn't really know Subaru very well. So I said, let me try a WRX out and see how it is. I had the car for 3 years. I loved it so much. And then when I sold it, I missed it. So ever since then, I just always loved the car. And then I started working at Subaru, and I said, all right, well, let me get back into one. And I got a new STI, and it was just as good as I remember, if not better. And then slowly over time, I found them. I treasure them. So when I see one for sale, I'm like, that's a special opportunity, and one thing led to another, and we have some really special cars, such as the 360, which is the first Subaru ever made, the 04 STI that I mentioned earlier, the 91 Legacy Turbo Sedan, which is a car that you never see out there, as well as the S209, and the car that was developed by Vermont Sports Car, the Test Mule, which is like, just in my opinion, I'm a caretaker of that car. It's a piece of history.
That's awesome. How has your experience changed from going from Subaru to Genesis now, which is more like luxury orientated?
It's a much different thing. Working with a luxury brand is a little bit different. But in some ways they're similar, but they're both pretty customer oriented.
How do you feel Subaru's design philosophy has evolved over the years in comparison to the models that you have in your collection?
Well, when it comes to those cars, Subaru is smart enough to make all the necessary correct changes to a car to make it better and update it, but not change it too much because the customer loves what they have. A lot of the Subaru customers that come in, they're repetitive customers, right? So they're customers we've retained over long periods of time. In some cases, they're on the 7th, 8th, 9th Outback, so now they just want to get the same thing. They love it, they know it, and it's obviously treated them great. So they're very, very good at changing cars just enough, but not too much.
Is there a specific exhibit that you've enjoyed the most at the auto show this year?
Obviously, the Subaru one's great. I mean, anytime that you have anytime you have 4 models launched, it's really special to have something like that.
Yeah.
The Genesis one's a lot of fun too. To have the IMSA race car is so special and really, really nice. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the exhibits, the Mercedes one we put together, it's nice to finally have Mercedes back at the show, at least in the smaller capacity. Hyundai's is pretty stunning as well, I have to say. The Hyundai display is very, very impressive with the new Palisades that they launched today.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, really, really nice. And I always enjoy seeing Toyota as well. They always have some fun cars. Yeah. Especially with that open top 4Runner out there. That was really neat.
We just saw that before, and they had little New York and Mets too.
Yeah, very cool. Yep.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, James.
All right, thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
We'll see you.
Sounds good. See you back at the showroom.